Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Line Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I'm about to face a 200-point commander list here from the Neil's 1,000 Suns against my blips. These are going to be Genestealer Cult, and we've got a very narrative mission going on here. So the story is that this planet was lost to the Genestealer Cult infestation, and they have taken over and completely control the planet. Anyone that is still alive on this planet is a member of the cult and has been taken over, either controlled, mind controlled, or actually is a genetic member of the cult at this point. The Thousand Suns, Ahriman led them to this planet and realized that down on this planet there were books of lore that pulsed with energy that he needed to get. So he sent in this force to go grab those books for him, get him the information that he needed, and get him the power that he needed. They've got no interest in this planet. Once they've gotten what they need, they are going to pull themselves right back out and leave it to its devices so that when the gods from the void arrive, they will be nowhere near here. But they need to get these books. Of course, the Genestealer Cult just view them as intruders and are going to try to take them down. So the story is that they are going to have to try to get to these 6 objectives. These boxes, these black boxes over here, are going to be, and one back over there, those are going to be they contain the objects that Ahriman has felt in the warp that are driving him towards this planet. When my opponent finishes ends a battle round next to one of those objects, he controls it. Whether it's contested or not, it's not like an objective where I can contest it with a whole bunch of bodies. If he ends up within an inch of these, he gets it. We will roll a D3 for those to see how many victory points they are worth. So 1, 2, or 3. If at the end of a battle round my opponent has scored 6 victory points, he will be victorious. And we're going to do the regular, at the end of round 4, we'll see if it goes on to turn 5 and then on to turn 6. But he has to score 6 victory points controlling these objectives where they are. My guys are blips. So I don't have a specific team that I've got here. What happens is these blips, when they are within 9 inches and visible to one of his guys, they are exposed. We will roll a D6. On a 1, 2, or 3, it'll be some variant form of neophytes or acolytes. On a 4, it'll be a pure strain. On a 5, it will be an aberrant. And on a 6, it will be a commander from the Genestealer Cult. And then from there, we'll roll to find out the specific ones that happen for each of those. We do have a couple specific stratagems that we can use. I, for 1 CP, at the beginning of my movement phase, can move one of these blips so that it is more than 9 inches away from one of his guys anywhere on the table. My opponent has 1 CP where he can, within 12 inches and line of sight, show what is underneath one of these blips for 1 CP. So that's what we've got going on here. And again, like we said, it'll just keep going on. He either wins or doesn't win based upon the victory points that he collects. So if he gets all 6 boxes, he can win with the 6 points there. But he could also win if he just gets 2 of them and happens to roll really high on his victory points. So we'll see how it all goes. I think it should be fun. We think it's going to be fun. So we'll see what happens. So that is the story, and that is the mission that we're going to be playing. I will now show you the Thousand Suns kill team that is going to be adventuring within this facility. So for the Thousand Suns, his kill team will consist of, from left to right here, his commander, who is a Zangor Enlightened on a disc. We then have an aspiring sorcerer with a staff as his leader in Terminator armor. We've got a Rubric Terminator with a Soul Reaper cannon and a power sword as his demolitions expert. We've got a combat specialist who is a Rubric Terminator with a combi bolter and a power sword. We have a veteran specialist with the same loadout, and then we have a Rubric Marine with an infernal bolter and an icon of flame. There. All right, so going over deployment here, we've got his demolitions expert here. We've got his veteran specialist there. His leader is right there. His combat specialist is there. The regular Rubric Marine is right here behind his Zangor Shaman on a disc over here. My guys are all blips right now, more than 12 inches away from from this deployment zone that we had here, and that is where they will be. Now we are going to roll initiative to see who will have it going into turn 1. I rolled a 4, my opponent rolled a 7, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Thousand Suns. All right, movement phase for the Thousand Suns here. His combat specialist opened this door, allowing his leader to walk up and open this door. This Rubric Marine moved up and opened the big old sliding doors here, opened it up into here. This veteran specialist opened this door on the side here, who then, his demolitions expert, moved up here and opened up this door. So he's getting ready to move on out here, trying to scoot around here to get these objectives over on this side. And then his Zangor shaman shot up the board over here, dropping himself next to one of the objectives to grab one of those and stay where it is. But that does mean that he is going to be within 9 inches and line of sight of those 4 objectives. So we are going to see what they are. Let's start with this one on a D6. It's going to be a 1, so that will be neophytes or acolytes. This one over here is going to be neophytes or acolytes. This one over here is going to be neophytes or acolytes, and this one over here is going to be neophytes or acolytes. So that's cool. We got neophytes or acolytes for days over here. So let's see. On a 1, it will be 1 neophyte. 2 neophytes. 2 neophytes, but one of them will have a heavy weapon. And then we've got on a 4, it will be 1 acolyte. On a 5, 2 acolytes, and on a 6, 2 acolytes, but one of them will have a heavy weapon. Oh, on that 6, that's what's coming up there. And there they are. Next, we've got this one. On a 3, that's going to be the same. That's going to be 2 neophytes, 1 having heavy weapon. There we go. This guy. Ooh, 6 again. And there they are. And then the last one. It's going to be 6 again. So and there they go.
That was a bonehead.
All right. So my markers, he stood where he was. These guys moved in around over this way. These guys moved down over this way. He stayed where he... All right. Oh, this one was back over here, but I spent 1 CP for they lie below, and he moved up over here. Ended up over here more than 9 inches away from his dude bros over this side. And that's what the objective. So this one's going to be shown once we're done at the end movement phase. But these guys are going to now do their thing. So this guy over here is going to charge into him over here. And he's in. And then that guy is going to charge in as well. On a 5, we'll get him in. And the other guys are just going to move around. Those 2 guys are hopefully going to take him in combat over there. And those guys ready. All right, so that's the end of the movement phase. Let's see what this one is over here. On a 6. Ooh, that's a big boy coming in here. So that means one of my commanders is coming out. On a 1, 2, or 3, it'll be a Magus. On a 4 or 5, it'll be a Sanctus. And on a 6, big old Patriarch coming in here. Oh, with the fill face. That's brutal. Oh boy. All right, so that's going to be it for the movement phase. So now we're going to go into the psychic phase. We're going to start with his guy here. He is going to use Cybolt onto my dude bro over here.
Are both of them?
Yeah, both of them are equidistant, basically.
But they're both the same kind of weapon?
Yes, both the same weapon. Both heavy rock saws. So here we go, Cybolt.
This is the first guy?
First one?
5, it'd actually be 4 because +1.
So that's good to go. Yep. So yeah, he takes him out.
Mortal
injury roll. So that's a mortal wound onto this guy over here. So his injury roll. On that 5, he's out.
Double.
And then because he's a psychic specialist, he's going to spend 2 CP to cast Cybolt a second time over here.
Again, needing.
That's going to go off on an 8 there. I'm going to try to deny that.
Okay.
I do not. So injury roll. No, takes a flesh wound. All right, so that's then I am also going to respond with my own Cybolt over here. I'm going to go off on an 8. Would you like to deny that, sir?
Bet, because I can. I have many.
No, does not. So he will take a mortal wound.
6.
And then the mark of flame, icon of flame is going to go off over here on a 6. No. Now into the shooting phase. My heavy stubber guy is going to fire into him over here because he's readied. Not getting any hits. And then he's going to get 1 shot on a 6. The other neophyte over there, nope, no hit. All right, so now his Rubric Marine is going to fire into my my acolyte over here with the rock saw. 2 shots, hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Getting 2 hits. These are strength 4, so wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds, -2, so that's going to go straight through. 1 damage apiece, so it's just going to be 1 roll on the injury test. He's out. This guy's going to shoot his pistol over into him. That is a hit because he's not obscured. He's just -1 to hit because of the range. So now this is going to be looking for a 5 to wound. No wound. And then he is going to fire his Storm Bolter into him, getting 4 shots because he's in rapid fire range, but obscured, so 4s to hit. Ooh, that's all hits. Looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 3 wounds.
-2.
Oh, AP -2, so he's going to just be an injury there. So injury roll. Takes a flesh wound. Now his combat specialist back here is going to fire into him over there.
4s again.
4s again. Getting 2 hits. Looking for 3s to wound. That's wounds. AP -2, so that's going to go straight through. Injury roll +1. Ooh, takes a flesh wound.
Oh.
All right, so that's going to be it for the shooting phase. Into the fight phase. My guy that charged over here, he's going to have 2 attacks, hitting on 4s because he's got that flesh wound. No, nothing.
Here's what's
And
going
now
on.
the shaman's going to attack me back over here.
Okay,
So he's got one's going to be from the disc, the others are going to be from the staff. So these are going to be hitting on 3s, I believe, right? On your dude, bro. 1 second. All right, so here comes his attacks here. These are going to be hitting on 3s. All right, all but 1 hit. The black ones are going to be wounding on 2s because it's strength +2, so strength 6. And then the other one's going to be wounding on 3s because strength 4. Alrighty, so that's going to be all wounds. Those are AP -1, so we'll do those ones first. Those are going to be looking for 6-up saves. Nope, failed both of those. So the first one is D3 wounds, and that will take me down, but it's 3 dice now on the injury roll here. Yeah, he out. All right, so that's the end of the turn. I do have 1 morale test to take over here. I won't be able to break is the way we've worked it out, but I do roll the shock, see if I'm nerve test to see if I'm out based upon the guys I have out. So he's going to roll, and on a 6, he is going to be nervous because he just got obliterated with a whole bunch of shots into him. So he's going to be cowering back over there until the patriarch over there reminds him with a swift kick to the behind to get going. So that is going to be it for the turn here. So we will now roll off. Oh no! So my opponent does at the end of the turn hold that thing. So let's see how many victory points he gets for that.
And it's on a reroll.
Yeah, no rerolls. So 2 victory points. Pretty good there. Off to a good start. So he has 2 victory points right now. So now we will roll off to see who will have initiative going into the next turn. I rolled a 6, my opponent rolled a 5, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult here on turn 2. All right, movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. These markers all moved down over to here. He moved back over through here. So the way we work it with moving through the doors, it costs me 1 inch of movement to move through the doors, and the markers can only move 6 inches total. So that's how they've been moving around where they are. I also spent 1 CP to move one of my markers over to here. Those guys stayed up over there, and this guy moved up over here. So at the end of my movement phase, we'll expose him for where he's at. But first, we're gonna have some charges. He is gonna charge into his Rubric Marine over here. He will not be in because he needed a 10-inch charge to get in. But I forgot he has to Overwatch too. 6s. No hits there. So he did not make it in though. And now this guy is going to charge into his shaman. 4 inches may not make it. Oh no, he made it. He's in. And my patriarch is going to charge into him. I need a 7-inch charge to get in. Oh, and he's in. And he's in. These guys are going to ready, and that will be it for the movement phase. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Thousand Suns. All right, movement phase for the Thousand Suns. This guy over here was the one here who advanced over here to open the door. Then he advanced up here to get next to the objective over there. Over here, the combat specialist moved up, opened the door, and then the leader came up over here. So we've got a couple of these blips that will be exposed at the end of the movement phase. And then we do have a charge from him into my guy over here. So Overwatch on a 6. No hit there. So his charge distance is probably totally in. Yeah, way in. Wow.
What are you?
All right, so now we are going to show what this is over here. On a 5, we got some aberrants. So 1, 2, 3, it's got a pick. 4, 5, 6, it's got a hammer. 4, 5, 6, you got a hammer.
If you want.
Ooh-wee, there he's at. And then we got this one back over here. That's also an aberrant. And he's got a hammer as well. And there he's at. All right, so into the psychic phase. My opponent has advantage. What's the, initiative over here. So he will go first, right? Oh no, I have the initiative. Aha, I've got initiative. So I'm going to psych first. I am going to use Psybolt. That goes off with a 7.
I'm trying to stop you.
Trying to stop me over here? No, does not. So he will take a wound.
Oh.
And now he's going to do the exact same thing back to me over here. Going off on a 7. I will try to deny it. I do not. So +1. Oh, +1 because of being a psyker. Forgot about that. So that was an 8, but still not denied. So I take a wound. All right, and my opponent is put that 1 wound there. Now he's going to spend 2 CP to cast it again. That's going to go off on an 8. I cannot deny it because I cannot. So I will take another mortal wound.
Yes.
All right, shooting phase. My ready guys have no one they can shoot at. So now we're going to go over here. His leader is going to shoot into my aberrant over here. So he's going to have his shots. These are going to be hitting on 3s because he's not obscured. And he is obviously within half range. So that's going to be 2 hits. These are going to be wounding on 4s. Tough 4. No wounds. All right, so now my Patriarch's going to start us off in the fight phase, attacking into his Zangor Shaman over here. So I've got 6 attacks hitting on 2s. That is going to be all hits. Pretty good. Strength 6, so wounding on 3s, re-rolling. Oh, good thing I can re-roll here. Okay, not meant to be. So that's going to be 4 wounds. He's got a 5-up invul save.
That's all I'm saving on.
Here we go. Oh, no. Made one, failed those. So the first one does D3 damage. 1 damage. So the second one does 1 damage. So that is when he goes down there. Let's see his injury roll. On a 4, he is out of action. And now his dude bro over here is going to attack into me over here because he charged in. So he's going to have his 1 attack.
Butt stroke to the head.
Yep. That is going to be a hit. Strength 4, so looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP nothing. So here we go. 5 up, he's good. Woo! Thanks. And now my guy's going to attack back here. 2 attacks with his rending claw, getting 1 hit. Not a wound, and then his cultist knife attack is a hit and is not a wound. All right, so that's going to be the end of the turn here. I do have a flesh wounded guy over here. Let's see. On a 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, he is still shook after getting that barrage of fire onto him over there. And at the end of the turn, my opponent will grab another one here. Imagine they have like teleport beacons that they smash onto the boxes. They get sucked back up through the warp back to the ship. So let's see if this is a big one. A 2 again. So he has got 4 victory points so far. Pretty good so far. He just needs 2 more victory points to win this, and we'll see how it goes. So we will roll to see who will have initiative going into round number 3. I rolled a 6. My opponent rolled an 8, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Thousand Suns.
Right on time.
All right, so movement phase here for the Thousand Suns. This guy advanced up here, opened the door. Then he ran up here onto the objective, advancing up that way. His Rubric Marine fell back from my guy over here. His leader moved up over here, onto more than an inch away from him, and now his combat specialist is going to charge into my aberrant. So his charge distance is in. All right, so at the end of his movement here, this guy gets observed. He's going to be an aberrant with a pick.
Cool.
There he is. And then this one back over here, as he ran through, you can see him over there. It's going to be neophytes or acolytes. It's going to be 2 acolytes. Boom, there they are. All right, so now into the movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. He is going to charge into him over here. So overwatching with his 6 shots from his, or is it 4 shots? 4 shots from the Reaper autocannon. Oh, 2 hits.
-3.
AP, what are these? Strength what?
5.
Strength 5, so looking for 3s to wound. That's 2 wounds. AP -3, so that's going to go straight through. What are they, 1 damage apiece?
Yeah.
1 damage apiece. So that's going to take him down to 0. So that becomes 1 injury roll. No, he takes a flesh wound. All right, my opponent's actually going to spend a CP to re-roll that because he wants that aberrant out of there. No, he still takes a flesh wound. And his charge distance. Oh, look, he barely, but he's in. And now my Patriarch is going to charge into his dude bro over here, so fire an Overwatch, looking for 6s with his 2 shots from his Infernal Bolter. Nope. No hits there. He needs a 7-inch charge. Oh, and he's in. All right, and that's going to be it for the movement phase. So we will now come back, go into the psychic phase. We'll start off, has to start off over here, right, with the icon of flame. So he's going to do his icon of flame over there, looking for a 6. Oh, and it does go off, giving him a mortal wound.
Face.
And then his guy over here is going to sideball my dude bro.
Straight up, it's just 5.
Here we go. 5s go off. It does. So he takes a mortal wound.
I can't.
All right, he's going to deny it over here. He does deny it. And then I'm going to sidebolt into him. That will go off with an 8. You can deny me as well. But you won't. So he will take a mortal wound. Does he only have 1 wound?
That guy?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see if he is... Nope, takes a flesh wound. All right, so into the shooting phase, my heavy cyber is going to shoot into his veteran over here. Not going to get any hits there. All right, so into the fight phase, he's going to start off over here in the Hammer of Wrath phase with his combat specialist. 3 attacks because the combat specialist hitting on 3s. That is going to be all hits. Toughness 4. What is his strength 4, right?
4.
So looking for 4s to wound.
Power sword.
Power sword. That's going to be a wound. And he took, oh no, he did deny it. So that's only going to be, he's going to take that 1 wound. And now my Patriarch is going to attack him over here, hitting on 2s. It's all hits. Wounding on 3s. Rerolling.
Ooh, a 6.
Yep, so this is going to be 2 at damage 3, AP minus. Does he have an invul save?
Yes.
He does. All right, so we've got 2 invul saves over here.
Do one and then the other.
Right, here comes the first. Yeah, well, yeah, first one.
Nope.
No, so it's going to be 3 damage on that one. And on that 6, he's out of action. And now my Aberrant over here is going to attack into him with his hammer. He's going to be hitting on 5s because of the flesh wound and the hammer being unwieldy. Oh, he does get a hit. Strength 10, wounding on 2s. That's a wound with a fill face. AP minus 3 on this one. So that's going to be...
Save on a 5 or a 5.
So a 5 or a 5. He has got his choice here. So 5 up, save. No, that's going to be 3 damage. So that's going to take him down, right?
Yeah, down 2 wounds.
And on that 6, he's out of action.
Man.
And then this Aberrant's going to attack into his combat specialist. He's going to get 1 hit there. Not going to wound, though. All right, so that's the end of the turn here. I do have to roll for a nerve test over here. And he's going to still be shaken. And this guy over here is going to roll. 3 plus 3 is 6. Yeah, he should be good to go. So that is going to be it for the turn. My opponent, because I killed him off there, does not get that objective over there. So that is going to be it for turn 3. We will now roll to see who has initiative going into turn 4. I rolled an 11. My opponent rolled a 7. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, so movement phase. He moved around over here. He moved up over this way. He is shaken. He's going to stay where he's at. They're going to ready over there. Now we're going to have some charges. So we're going to start with him charging into your veteran specialist over here. So Overwatch with your 4 shots. 6s. No hits there. His charge distance, 5 inches, does not make it. And now this guy over here is going to charge into him. He'll be in on a 6. And my emote, actually, I forgot, he had declared to have the 1 CP to spend on... because we're playing in the coast confines here, it's point blank Overwatch. So because he made it in there, he gets to fire his Overwatch here. No hits. And then that guy's going to charge in as well. Oh, he's waiting. All right, movement phase. He has to stay there. He's going to stay over here, and then his leader is going to charge into both of the Aberrants over here. So his charge distance, because I can't fire Overwatch there, just roll it. Doesn't make a difference. Yeah, he's in. And now this one over here is actually going to be exposed with a 3, so it's neophytes. Oh, just 1 neophyte.
That worked out pretty
There he is.
I wasn't able to charge you.
All right, so now into the psychic phase. My Patriarch is going to psych into his leader. That will go off on a 6.
Are you sure?
No, it will not. An 8. Denied. And then he's going to return the favor, but into my Aberrant.
It's touching.
That's going to. That does go off. No, on a 4. No, it does not go off.
Nope.
All right, so no one's doing any second here. We'll come back to you with the shooting. No shooting, because everyone's engaged in combat. So we will come back to you with the fight phase. All right, so now one of my guys over here is going to start off in the fight phase into him. Hitting on 3s, that's 1 hit. That is a wound, AP minus 1. So 3 up save.
Always best.
I think that's only in the shooting phase, right? I think.
Period.
Is it? 1 second. Yeah, all his dust. So he's going to get +1 to his armor save because it's 1 damage. So he's going to be back up to a 2+ save. Yeah, he's good. He was going to definitely be fine. That is good. And his cultist knife is a hit. Is a wound, 2 up save. Oh, he takes a wound. And now his leader's going to go put his attacks into the guy back over there. That's going to be 1 hit. Strength, what?
With staff is 6.
Staff is 6, so it's going to be wounding on a 3. No wound.
Poopy.
And the other charger over here. No hits there. And then his cultist knife is a hit.
Ouch.
Is not a wound. And then this guy is going to put his attacks into the leader over here. Whew, no hits.
Sword.
And then he's going to bonk him. Nope, no hits. And then he's going to attack into the leader. Getting no hits because it's unwield. Oh, no, he's got a pick. So that is one hit. That is a wound. AP -2.
That's multi.
But it's D3 damage.
Oh, no. It's no all his stuff.
No. Well, he's also a sorcerer, so he doesn't have all his dust.
So minus what?
-2, so 4 up, save. He's good.
Okay.
All right, that's it for the phase here. We got morale test to take over here. This guy over here. On a 3 + 3 is 6. He's actually good to go. And then him over here. 3 + 1, he's good to go as well. All right, so that's the end of the morale phase. That's the end of the turn here. He's still not within there. So we do have to roll now to see if the game goes on to a turn 5. So my opponent can roll here on a 3+. It goes on. Oh, it does. So let's roll for CU as initiative going into this turn. Ooh, 10-7. It will be his turn first. All right, he's just going to stay in combat. So my movement phase, this guy moved up, he moved up. He moved up over this way, and that is going to be it. So we're going to start now. We're going to move into the psychic phase. You're going to go first because you're going to stay in combat. So he's going to go first over here. So he's going to psych into him. That will go off on a 7, but will I deny it? I will on an 8. And then I'm going to try to return the favor to you over here. Ooh, with an 11. That's going to be D3. Yeah, it is. D3.
Oh, no.
3! Oh, man. So that's going to take the leader down. And 4, he is obscured over there, so he is going to be flesh wounded. All right, shooting phase, they're going to shoot their pistols over here. That's going to be 2 hits. That is going to be 1 wound. 2 up save. He's good. All right, so now his leader's going to start us in the fight phase, attacking into my aberrant back over there. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits. With the staff, he's going to be wounding on 3s. That's 2 wounds. AP -1. So that's going to be to a 6 up save.
So they're D3 wounds.
Yeah. Make 1, fail 1. So he's going to have D3 wounds.
Yes, staff is -1.
All right, he's going to have D3 wounds. -1 to this because of... Oh, he's just going to take the 1 wound. My opponent's going to spend a CP to re-roll that.
Better.
Yep, into a 2, but actually becomes 1 because of his abilities there. So now my hammer bro is going to go into the combat specialist. Going to get 1 hit, wounded on a 2. That is a wound. AP -3.
Oof. 5 or 5.
5. Oh, he's good. All right, so now his veteran specialist is going to do 1 and 1. So we'll do the first one on the far side there.
First side left.
That's a hit.
Right side.
That is not a hit. So we're just going to have the first one hit. Wounding on a 3 is a wound. AP -3, that's going to go straight through. So injury test. Takes a flesh wound. All right, so now the injured guy is going to go over here. That's going to be 1 hit. That's going to be a wound. AP -1, +1 because of all his dust. 2 up. He's good. Cultist knife. That's a hit. That's not a wound.
He didn't get to go.
Now the combat specialist is going to attack into my dude bro there. That's going to be 1 hit. This is going to be a 1 hit. This is going to be strength 4, toughness 4. 1 second. All right, so looking for a 4 to wound. That's a wound. AP -3 is going to go straight through, and that's enough damage to take him down there. So now roll your initiative, or roll the injury roll. Nope, on a 1, he takes a flesh wound. Then my guy with the pick is going to attack into the leader. That's going to be 1 hit. That is going to be a strength 5, so that's a wound. AP -2, so 4 up save. No, that's going to go through. D3 damage. Oh, 3 damage. Injury roll +1. There he is. He's out. And then I got 1 more guy over here. That's going to be 2 hits. That is going to be 1 wound. 1 wound over here. AP -1, +1, 2 up. He's good. Cultist knife. Not a hit. All right, so that's the end of the turn here. We now have to roll to see morale phase if he is broken because my opponent has lost 4 of his dude bros here. So he is going to be rolling 2d6. Leadership 9 is on his guys here. Oh, and he's good to go, so he is not broken. I do have to roll to see if I've got some guys with flesh wounds here, so we're going to start with this guy over here. 3 + 3 is good. This guy. 2 is good. This guy. 1 is good. And then this guy. 4 + 3 is 7. He is also good. All right, so let's see if it goes on to a turn 6. No, it will not. So that is the end of the game. The Genestealer Cult managed to hold them back off. The Tyrannid High Fleet arrived into into the area, and Ahriman decided he couldn't wait any longer and just had to leave with the 2 cases of books that he had. Not enough to really complete the mission. So a victory for the Genestealer Cult here. This was a ton of fun. I really, really like this. The way we rolled here. The Patriarch popping up early was super cool. But then, every once in a while, you just have that one neophyte that pops up. So, just rolling it like that really makes it fun and interesting. And you kind of run around, you're like, is it worth popping that marker to see what's under there? Like, how are we going to get this off? I need to get up there to get into the objectives, to get the points. A ton of fun. And you can easily adapt this into, any kind of force, heavy, strong force making their way up. And it's basically just a take on the whole endless swarm kind of feel that you get on a lot of narrative missions. But a ton of fun and totally worth it and really a great time. So I highly recommend giving this a shot. So you can see the rules are pretty simple. Like I said, you have blips instead of actual markers, instead of actual models, and then you roll to see what they are afterwards. It really works well with this. It would work well with maybe orcs in like a foggy field or something, or a foggy with the fog of war going on there would be really good for them to go against. Something like that. Tyranids obviously would be super easy to do, but Genestealer Cult, it works really well because that's kind of what they do. So a ton of fun. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil the Glacial Geek as always. My opponent's been Neil, and until next time, have fun.